According to Nick Fuentes, dating women is gay. Nothing gayer. It's actually the gayest thing you can do. Here we are going to hear Nick explain why dating women is gay during an interview. You know, I don't know Nick personally, but from everything that I've seen, I believe that Nick Fuentes is in the closet. I believe that he's a gay man, which makes it incredibly hilarious that he is now somehow the leader of the conservative party, right? He is now the voice, the face, the personality that is leading young conservative men who are completely against the LGBTQ, men who are obsessed with this idea of returning to the 1940s, you know, returning to traditional values. This is their guy. And he here is going to explain why dating women is gay. All right, let's take a listen.
Well, here's what I think is gay. It is gay to date women. Here's what's gay about it. What's gay about it is that, you know, when I think about relations between men and women.
Remember, being gay is liking people of the same sex. That's what it means to be gay, is being sexually and romantically attracted to people of the same gender, the same sex. That's what it means to be gay. Let's see how he fits this whole dating women thing into that definition.
It's about sex. All of my views about men and women come down to the biological imperative, which is that when a man and woman reach the age of sexual maturity, they want to have sex. According to Catholic sexual morality, the only way to have...
Is it gay to want to have sex with women, Nick? Right? Is that gay? Okay.
Sex is within marriage. That's what makes it moral.
Sure.
Because to have sex is to have kids, unless there's something wrong with you. To have sex is to have kids.
Even when you don't have children, you can have unprotected sex with your wife being perfectly healthy, and she's also perfectly healthy, and kids aren't the outcome every single time. And so even if it was the case that there is this God who designed us to have sex for the sake of procreation, why would he make it so that you could have sex and actually the grand majority of the month she's not capable or able to get pregnant? In fact, women don't know even if she's ovulating, if when you have sex, she'll get pregnant. There's so many people who try to get their wives pregnant or get their girl pregnant for years and they don't get pregnant. And then one day they get pregnant. So tell me, why would God set it up like that if he only wanted sex to result in procreation every single time? It's because obviously that's not what's going on. Whether you believe in evolution or a creator or both, what you have to acknowledge is clearly building a relationship, building a connection, growing intimacy and growing closer to somebody is clearly one of the purposes of sex, at least within humans. If it was only for the sake of procreation, God would have made it in such a way where the woman would only desire to have sex when she is ovulating, and if you have sex, you automatically would get pregnant. Logically, of course, logically here.
Kids need a mother and a father that are going to stick together.
Sure.
So the way that you build a stable society is to say the mother and the father are going to have to be together before they have kids and have sex. They're going to have to be made one flesh. They're going to have to, that's their obligation to their children.
Okay.
That's their obligation to God.
Sure.
And so my view of sex and in the United States is people...
Let's not forget Nick is a man in his 30s who doesn't have a girlfriend, who is a virgin still, at least when it comes to women.
Should be getting married younger. Because what they're doing now is they're going out and they're having a lot of hookups or having a lot of casual sex, which I don't think anybody's really, in the end, deeply satisfied with this arrangement.
How would you know you're a virgin? How would you know? How would you know? You've never had a girlfriend. How would you know, Nick? Secondly, the data doesn't support this insane idea you have that in order to have a healthy society with thriving families, people need to get married younger. Now, this is research-based percentage estimates for divorce risk by age at marriage based on large U.S. data sets. If you get married under the age of 20, your chance of divorce is between 32 and 40%. If you get married between the age of 20 and 22, that drops down to 27 to 34%. Check this out. The best age range to get married is 28 to 32. It has the lowest divorce percentages with 12 to 14%. And we see 25 to 27, which is around the time I got married. I got married at 27. Between 25 and 27 and 33 and 35, those both have the, 14 to 18% divorce rate risk, which makes sense because your brain fully develops by the time you're 25. And then by the time you're 35, you've probably gotten pretty used to being single. For whatever reason, once you pass 35, the chances of getting divorced actually starts to climb back up again. So there is something going on there. But without a doubt, getting married younger, like in your early 20s or your late teens, is suicide. It's fucking stupid if it is that you want to have the most successful marriage possible, at least statistically. And so it completely contradicts this bullshit idea that he has. But of course, he doesn't know the first thing about women. He doesn't know the first thing about relationships. He doesn't know the first thing about marriage. Yet he is influencing millions of confused, sexually repressed, sexually frustrated, incel white young men. They're taking their dating advice from what I believe to be a gay incel. Insane.
So people reach the age of sexual maturity. They want to have sex. They go out and have lots of sex. And they wait maybe 5, 10, 15 years. They wait until they're in their mid-20s, late 20s, 30s before...
Which is statistically the best time to get married if you want a successful marriage.
When the women are past their prime in looks, they wait for men to really have all their ducks in a row. Then finally, now we want to have kids. And what happens? Well, at that point, the women aren't particularly...
This nigga don't know shit about good-looking women. Past their prime in looks, women look great if they take care of themselves. A woman can look great all the way up into her 40s. We have plenty of examples of that.
Fertile. Maybe they're only going to have a couple of kids. And also at that point, maybe both of them have had a lot of sexual partners and they've become maybe bitter, cynical, set in their ways. They haven't grown together. It makes it less likely they'll stay together. This is a very dysfunctional situation. And so my prescription for men and women is get married a lot younger when they reach that biological age of maturity. And then they're supposed to have kids. Then when the men and women are young and energetic, that's when they're having a big family and they can take care of a big family because they have energy.
So we know that there is a pipeline from red pill to this racist, white, Christian nationalist bullshit. And much like the red pill coaches, Nick is again prescribing advice that he does not take. He is not living what he is preaching. Nick is famous. He has women reaching out to him, wanting to go and court him, wanting him to marry them and give them children. He's a Christian. He's in his 30s, and he is very financially well off as a result of his media company that he has built. And so the question is, why isn't he married? If he thinks that's what's best, and he believes this whole trad life shit that he preaches, why isn't he married? It's because, like I think it's because he's gay. Also, don't let the whole dating women is gay thing go over your head. This is something that people like Nick it's a strategy they like to employ. For instance, he will find a way to say that everyone is racist, right? Oh, everybody's racist. This is how you're racist. If he can get you to agree with that when he's actually being racist, you're gonna be like, well, shit. I mean, I guess we're all racist in a way. And so if he can get you to agree with this insane idea that dating women is gay, if you're a guy, let's say you're a straight white dude and you've hooked up with a girl before, but you're listening to Nick Fuentes because you fell down the alt-right pipeline, in order to agree with your messiah, with your leader, you're going to then say, well, I guess in a way I was kind of being gay, dating this woman I wasn't married to, having sex with this woman I wasn't married to because I wasn't trying to have children with her. And so I guess I was kind of having gay sex. That way, when you hear Nick, or when evidence finally comes out, hard, concrete evidence finally comes out about Nick having gay sex, you'll be able to say, well, in a way, we kind of both had gay sex, right, Nick? I was having sex with a woman outside of marriage, and you were getting your back blown out by a dude named Julio. So I don't really see a big deal there. No contradiction here. This is what he is doing. Pay attention.
The reason that dating is gay is because it's sterile. There's something very sterile about dating. Men are using condoms. What's gayer than you?
How would you know? How would you know? You've never used a condom. You're a virgin. You're an incel. You've never dated a chick.
Using a condom, preventing your virile seed from impregnating a woman. Not to sound graphic, but like, that's very gay. It's gay for a woman to be
your virile seed from impregnating a woman? I mean, just the way he's talking about it, you can tell he's never been inside no wet pussy, bro. That's not how straight men who actually enjoy having sex, that's not how they talk, right? First you must inseminate the specimen. It's like, bro, what the fuck are we talking about here? Huh? Are we still talking about, titties and booty and jiggly stuff? What are we talking about here?
It's gay for men and women to be not married, but texting each other all day and watching Disney movies and cuddling together and, playing
this. Cuddling with girls, super gay. Super gay when you cuddle with a chick.
I think the whole thing is just deeply unserious and just very kind of juvenile and immature. And I think that it kind of reflects like a arrested development. It's like a stunted growth and maturity.
So why is it that when people get married in their late 20s and early 30s, they have better results and outcomes in regards to their marriage? Explain that one to me.
So I think, I'm not saying that getting married to a woman's gay. I'm saying that all of this nonsense that surrounds modern dating culture is extremely...
Why would you ever have to... The fact that you're speaking in a way where you have to clarify that you don't think marrying a woman in of itself is gay means that you're saying some pretty gay shit, dude. You're saying some shit that sounds very gay when you have to clarify that shit.
Sterile and unserious and very feminine and very gay.
And you see, this is the thing with people who try to repress and hide things about themselves when it comes to their sexual nature. They always leave breadcrumbs. They try to tell you. They try to tell you in so many ways. They try to show you, but they don't outright come and say it until they're ready to come out of the closet. But they put, they keep taking more ground. They keep pushing the line to see how much shit I can say before people just realize that I'm bullshitting them and that I'm actually gay. Like when I say dating women is gay, he's trying to see how far can I take this, but he's been leaving clues all along. One of the biggest clues that this is how he is was he had a femboy, catboy era where he was constantly hanging out with guys who would wear little cat ears, but eventually he had to stop. He had to stop because he was becoming more popular, and these racist, conservative, traditional-minded men that have been gravitating towards him, well, they see, they would never do no shit like that. They would call that guy an F word, and I don't mean fuck, you know what I'm saying? And so how can they allow the guy that's leading the army, leading the crusade, how could they follow a guy who's hanging around with cat boys like that? Anyway, he also talked about this. He addressed this. He misses it. He acknowledges that he misses that shit. He misses the cat boy, and he wishes that he could still do it. Let's check this clip out.
Connor MC Grow, I percent $10. I miss your femboy era.
What's the femboy? I was never a femboy. It was the cat boy era, okay?
Oh, right.
Not femboy.
Right, because running around wearing cat ears, pretending you're a little kitty cat, a little pussy cat, nothing feminine about that, right?
Let's get it straight. It was the cat boy era. I miss it too. They bullied me out of it. It was funny. And Vosh made up.
Look at him staring off into the sunset. He's reminiscing
of it. It was funny. And,
look at him.
And
yeah, the Catboy era. I love it. I say era. My wife told me that's not how you say it. I thought it was a Jamaican thing, but My Jamaican sister is in town. I was like, you say era too, right? She's like, no, I don't. I say era. The Catboy era. He misses it. He's reminiscing about the Catboy era.
Vosh made up a bunch of nonsense about it.
Package. How does a Sunday mass
And
date
then
sound?
I had to capitulate for the sake of optics and say, no. We want to be trad and get married, and women are awesome. So, yeah.
Like, just listen to how he's talking. Women are awesome. This is not how a straight man speaks about women, bro.
Yeah, it was awesome, wasn't it?
Here's the thing about that. That's sort of, well, that's one of the reasons why me and Cammie started to not really get along. Not only was I getting fucking crucified for hanging out with him.
Cammie? He wears cat ears and his name is Cammie, bro. And just look at this. Look at this. Is this how a straight... When's the last time you seen one of your straight friends hit this pose right here? Yeah, come on, man.
But also because when I met him, I realized he was like a hardcore... He's like Gypsy Crusader. Like a eugenicist. I don't know if Gypsy Crusader's a eugenicist, but like he was like a hardcore, like full-on race war...
I thought you loved Hitler. Wasn't that Hitler's whole shtick? None of your audience is going to be like, oh, I was going to follow Nick, but I heard he had a friend that believed in white supremacy and racial supremacy. Like, that's not going to turn your fans off. Don't pretend like that's why you distanced yourself. And if it was that you cared about the optics in terms of the mainstream media, you wouldn't be saying things like I love Hitler and the N-word and shit like that. So, yeah, cut the shit, man.
And not a Christian or anything like that. I was like, yeah, I don't fuck with that at all. So, in case in point, I mean, we haven't really done a collab since then. I don't like that stuff.
He doesn't like that stuff, he says. He loves Hitler, but he hates the idea of eugenics, apparently. But if you need any more evidence, all you gotta do is see how Nick reacts to a woman, an actual woman, a living, breathing female. She sends in a super chat and is basically shooting her shot. Look at how he reacts to this shit.
I too am submitting my application to be your wife. Jessica may be the real bitch, but I've got the Catholic trad wife package. How does a Sunday
Madison.
mass date sound? God bless you. Praying gesture emoji. Latin cross emoji. Heart seed emoji.
Yeah, it sound. Oh my dude.
You see how he's reacting? She says, I've got the Catholic trad wife package. How does a Sunday mass date sound? God bless you. That's literally what he described in the first clip where he was talking about how dating women is gay. This sounds like exactly what he described. A woman that wants to go to church. You get to kill two birds with one stone. You're a Catholic, right? You actually believe that shit. So you go to mass. You got to go to mass regardless. Why not go with sweet little Madison? But he is so revolted by the idea of actually doing something romantic with a woman, even if it's just going to fucking church, dude, that he has a physical reaction. He almost throws up in his mouth at the thought of a woman touching his skin, going to church together. If this guy setting the example, is this how all the men that follow him react at the idea of a woman that wants to go to Sunday mass, go to church with them, right? Potential wife. This disgusts me. Get away from me.
Oh my gosh, guys. Stop. Please stop. What do I need to say? What do I need to... I thought I did everything necessary to repel this sort of thing. You know, and honestly, do you people...
He wants to repel women.
Really think... I've told you a million times, like, I am Catholic, but I'm also a beast, okay? But I'm also a maniac. The idea that people have in their head that I'm, like, putting on my fucking Sunday best to go to trad Latin mass with my shield maiden. Oh, let's go for a Sunday. Like,
listen to how he's talking about. Here's the thing. Okay, let's entertain this idea that he wants to focus on his mission, focus on his work. He wouldn't react like this. He'd be like, oh, Madison, you know, I'm flattered. I am, but I'm just busy right now. I'm busy. It wouldn't be, ew, gross, get away from me. I've done everything I can to repel it. He'd be like, shit. Man, I can't. But thank you, Madison. Thank you. I appreciate that for real.
That makes me want to commit suicide.
Oh,
All right, here I go. Getting my tie on for church, my cologne. Oh, goody. A modest and wholesome traditional girl for a Sunday mass date? Right on my alley. Like, dude, who do you think I am? I am a nasty beast. I am a straight up nasty beast and a maniac. And you think that I'm...
Nah. Listen, show me an emperor, a leader who didn't have a woman, bro. You ain't no beast compared to those emperors and rulers and kings and leaders of dynasties. You are no Napoleon. Napoleon had a wife. Because when you're straight, you gotta put that energy somewhere, man. And there is nothing more seductive than the form of a woman. To every straight man, there is nothing more just beautiful than a woman.
Sounds like a terrible date. We're not even going to talk. What do you think you do on a date? So I don't know, dude. I hope that's bait. I hope that's just not even real.
Why wouldn't you talk? You can talk before, you can talk after. You go, you do the mass together, you sit down, you like the way she looks, you like the way she smells, you like the way she sounds. You're going to want to sit down and talk with her for, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, maybe even if you really end up liking her. Shit, you might go and get breakfast. You got it. You see, this is why this excuse doesn't work. If you're a Christian and a Catholic, you got to go to mass. You're a human, you got to eat. Why not do it with a woman? So I don't think we need to see any more, man. Here, Nick Fuentes, he is really shouting this shit from the rooftops, but his cultish fan base, they're all so fucking stupid, bro. I mean, he had the same reaction. We talked about this already. We made a video. Nick Fuentes actually hates his fan base. He had the same reaction to them asking him for advice and guidance as he did to this woman, Madison, who asked him out on a date. He despises everything, and that's why he's so angry. He just wants to see the world burn because he's a miserable man living a lie, sexually repressed, and believes the only way he could ever be famous is by being this extremist, racist, conservative person while being a Mexican. All while being a Mexican. Anyway, you let me know what you think in the comment section down below, man. Thank you for watching, and until next time, peace out.